Hi, Kevin here. Well, it's Sunday afternoon and I'm getting ready to fix some rice pudding. Now, this is going to be a special treat for Mr. Fox. He had his second shingles vaccine yesterday and today he's feeling, kind of blah. So I think this might be a nice pick-me-up. Anyway, first thing to do is preheat the oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit and then grease a baking dish. This baking dish holds about, just shy of 3 quarts. So if you have maybe a 2.5 to 3 quart baking dish, that will be fine. Just grease it very well. All right, and let's get started on the recipe. Now, you won't need any special equipment for this recipe beyond a large mixing bowl and a whisk and the baking dish. So what I have here are 3 large eggs. I'm going to beat these violently. First, break up the yolks. That's it. And then what I have here is 1 cup or 200 grams of regular granulated sugar. And to this, I'm going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, just for perfume. And then I'm going to use a whisk to mix the nutmeg into the sugar. And the reason I'm doing this is because nutmeg tends to clump up, and if you mix it with the rough sugar granules, it will break up the nutmeg. Well, that's the idea anyway. All right, so now I'm going to whisk the sugar into the eggs. Mix that really well. Move you down a little bit so you can see better. Well, I hope you can see all right. Okay, and then you need 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Now, I melted this in the microwave and just let it cool briefly. I'm going to whisk that in. Then I'm going to whisk in 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. And I need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And the salt is going to make the vanilla flavor pop. It's going to really enhance the vanilla flavor. All right, then I have 2.5 cups of just regular whole milk here. You could use non-dairy milk. You could use almond milk if you like. Anyway, 2.5 cups, and I'm going to add this just a little at a time. Also, I'm thinking I need to put this bowl in a saucepan so the thing isn't spinning around. Hang on a second. Yeah, I was afraid you might be getting dizzy watching this mixing bowl bounce around. And what I did, I put it on a towel instead of in a saucepan. That helps. Okay, now 2.5 cups of milk added gradually. Might do 3 or 4 additions of this. So what we're doing is just making a very simple custard. There, the custard is made. And now for the good stuff. going to mix in 3 cups of cooked rice. Now this is minute rice, but you could use any long grain or short grain rice that you happen to like. So add this a little at a time so it doesn't splash all over. Yeah, I made rice to go with the red wine beef stew that I made for you yesterday. And I made a lot of extra rice so that I could do rice pudding today. Okay, now, traditionally, you would add 1 cup of raisins, either regular dark raisins or these golden raisins. But here's the deal. I have to talk with you for a moment. So, here's the deal with raisins. I love raisins all on their own. I mean, I can eat this, by the handful, but I do not like raisins in stuff, okay? If you put raisins in a cinnamon roll, I think you've ruined the cinnamon roll. If you want to ruin an apple pie, put raisins in the pie. So anyway, I love raisins all on their own, just not in baked goods. So what I'm going to use instead of raisins is peaches. And this is from a 15-ounce can of sliced yellow cling peaches that I drained really well. And then I just cut the peaches into teeny tiny pieces. Anyway, you can use raisins in your bread pudding. Not bread pudding, but in your rice pudding. These raisins are often in bread pudding as well. Not my bread pudding, however. Anyway, and stir these in. You didn't even see me add the peaches, but I did put them in here. So we have peaches and rice. Okay, let me grab my baking dish. Yeah, in the comments below, let me know your thoughts on raisins. Do you love them? Hate them? Love them all on their own, but not in things? Yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts. All right, we're in here. And now, this is going to go into the 325 degree oven for 1 hour. And here's a very important thing you have to do. After the rice pudding has been in the oven for 30 minutes, take a spoon. Here, I'll show you. Take a spoon and stir it from the bottom up. This way, you'll help the rice and the fruit to not settle at the bottom of the custard. In other words, you want the rice and the fruit to be suspended. All right, so I'm putting this in the oven, and then I'll come back after 30 minutes and we'll stir it together. All right, the pudding has been in the oven for 30 minutes, and the peaches are certainly floating on this surface, but the rice has sunk to the bottom. So here's what you do. Just scoop up from the bottom and over the top. That way the rice will be more evenly distributed and it will be suspended in the custard. And that's it. Okay, back into the oven for 30 minutes. And when this gets done, we'll come back. All right, here's the rice pudding, and oh boy, it smells terrific. And I did bake this for 1 hour and 20 minutes total, and I think I needed the extra time because This is a smaller but taller dish. So if you're using like a 9 by 13 baking dish, probably it would take just 1 hour. Anyway, I'm going to let this cool just briefly. I'm going to brew some tea and then we can have a taste of the pudding. All right, here's the tea. This is Earl Grey. And now for the pudding. And I have not let it cool enough, but I'm really anxious to try the pudding. Look at this. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Now, it's really hot. Oh, it's fabulous. This is so good. I can't wait for Mr. Fox to try it later on when we have it for dessert. So I hope you'll give, let me adjust this, straighten you out a little here, straighten myself out. So I hope you'll give this fabulicious rice pudding a try someday. And there are a ton of different recipes for rice pudding. Some use only 2 cups of rice as opposed to the 3 cups that I use. Some use only a ½ cup of sugar. So you have a lot of wiggle room with the recipe. Anyway, I will post the ingredients that I used in the description below, and I hope you'll try the pudding. All right, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Okay, I'm back because I forgot to tell you that you will know the pudding is done when a knife inserted in the center comes out clean or mostly clean. Okay, again, thanks so much for watching. This is really delicious, you guys. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.